Hello everyone, it's been a while. As you can see, I'm in quite a very nice area. I'm outside for once. Bit bizarre, I know, but I'm on holiday in Staffordshire and I thought, why not record this with a nice view behind? But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the weekend that's just gone by. TFNation. Good grief, what an amazing weekend it is. My voice is still slightly croaky, so I do apologise, but wow. It is all I can say to that. For the first TFNation, it was pretty damn good. So firstly, before I say what happened during the weekend, I want to thank everyone who organised it, all of the members who volunteered during the weekend, everyone who was part of TFNation's initial construction, if that's the right word, because you did a fantastic job. For the first ever convention, my word, you... Sure, there have been other Transformers conventions in previous years that several of members may now be working for TFNation, but it was its own thing, and it really showed through. So please, if you went to TFN, thank everybody, because they deserve more praise than they get, to be honest, and I can't thank them enough. So, let's talk about it, shall we? Friday, it was a bit interesting, because I was originally going on Thursday, and then some stuff happened, which meant that I got down there on the Friday around lunchtime, and if you've been to any Transformers convention in the past, you know that the moment you walk into the bar, you start to talking to someone. You start talking for probably half an hour. Then you move on to somebody else and you talk to them. And before you know it, several hours have gone past and you haven't even got around to everybody you wanted to say hello to. And that was basically Friday. It was going around the bar trying to speak to everyone, which I actually managed to do for the first time in a couple of years. So it was amazing just to catch up with all of you, to just talk to everyone again. And it was nice to see how everyone's year's been, because while we may talk to each other on social media and other outlets, it's not the same as talking in hand. You don't get that human connection that you do, and that's the heart and soul of what a convention like TFNation is all about. So, certain people arrived. Anton was there. Anton, thank you for an amazing weekend. I'm not going to name drop too many people, but I will say certain people who made the weekend just that extra bit special. But yes, Anton, it was great to see you. I hope you enjoyed it. I know there was stuff going on in the background, but I really hope you had a nice time, just a relaxing time. And I have so much to thank you for. I saw Tom again. Tom, I hope you enjoyed the convention. I'll see you at MCM in a couple of months' time, October. I saw Martin, Emily, I saw Sammy and all that lot, and it was so nice just to sit in the bar, relax, talk to people, talk about anything and everything, to be honest. And so, food-wise, on the Friday, me and Anton went out. Not in that way, but we went out to a gourmet burger place in a recently opened Resort World out the back of the Hilton, which is, I must say, it's a very nice place. They have a Nando's, a Pizza Express, and other outlets and shops. But it was the first time I really had a gourmet-style burger, which was interesting. But it was just, again, just a nice chance to catch up and talk, and it was just a nice break from the bar, because sometimes when there's quite a lot of people in the bar, it can get a bit, I don't want to say the word is hairy or claustrophobic, but it gets a bit, you need a break. You need a break from it, and going outside the Hilton and just sitting, talking with one or two people is brilliant. It really is. So, came back. I didn't see any of the events that were on in the evening. Heard how bad the Rocklaws movie was, so I avoided that as much as I could. And again, I just sat talking in the bar to the point where at 12:30, nearly 1ish, I was sat with Tom, Jonathan, Neil, hello, and we was talking about Bioshock for for no reason at all. We was just saying how much we love the game, and it was just, it's crazy. You talk about anything at Transformers convention, except Transformers sometimes, but no, it was so relaxing. For me, it's not my holiday, but it is part of it. It's an extension of it. So to Jonathan and Neil, hi, I want to say thank you because, again, just talking to you, relaxing, and sharing a love of something was brilliant. And I hope you two enjoyed the weekend. And yeah, I'm not sure where you're going to put all that stuff, Jonathan, but you'll find room somewhere, I'm sure. Also, during the day, in fact, in the first couple of hours of being there, when I was talking to people, I met a newcomer to TFNation and to the Transformers conventions as a whole, and it was very nice to just sit down and talk with them. And if I don't know if you would be watching this, but I hope you had a good convention. It was just so nice to see someone new come into the fray, especially when you're sitting next to Elliot, who, for those of you who don't know, Elliot is an Aussie with a love of swindle. What's better than that? So I went to bed fairly early on the Friday night, 1ish. Got up Saturday, had a nice breakfast. The Hilton breakfasts are always quite nice. And the dealer room was open at 9, so, you know, there was no queue, thank goodness, because I was a bit later. Had a look in there. This year, the dealer room was actually a lot bigger. There was more stalls. It was in the original room, like it was at a certain other Transformers convention a couple of years ago. So it was just nice to be back in a room that you're familiar with. And yeah, while I didn't buy anything until the Sunday, as many of you will know, there was still some stuff in there that caught my eye, and it was just nice because as you're walking around, you bump into someone who you've maybe talked to half an hour previous, and then you start having another conversation, and then you see somebody else, and it's kind of just the extension of the bar. But because you're in a room full of bots, it's mainly talking about bots. But it's a place that you talk about bots the most, and you help people buy some stuff, which I'm sure many people will accuse me of over the weekend of prodding them ever so slightly to buy something. Ian knows what I'm talking about. So I was flicking between the bar and the dealer room. Didn't see any panels. Didn't talk to any guests because I've seen Paul Lighting, my first ever auto assembly, and I don't go there for the guests anymore. In fact, with the exception of some of the artists, yeah, I'm not really big with the guests. If they're in the bar in the evening, and like if they're up for talking, then sure, brilliant. Love to socialise with them then. But going up and saying hello and is a bit, I don't know. It's not what I go there for. I go there to socialise with friends and just catch up with them and walking around the dealer room. You can still do that. Whereas if you're queuing up to see a guest for like half an hour, you miss out on some of that. And really, when you're there, you want to try and make the most of it. So yeah, didn't buy anything on the Saturday. It was interesting. I mean, I made Ian, my big brother, buy a hardhead, a Make Toys hardhead masterpiece scale, which I think he's enjoying hopefully. And I was having a cold war, if you would call it, with Anton to see who would buy the first piece of plastic, which was really funny to be honest. And then of course just sitting down with loads of people in the bar again, talking to Dave, talking to Brad, just anyone who was there really, and just sharing a love of toys back in the bar. Because you have a time when people are opening their box and you're seeing all the joy that comes with it. And it's that joy that it really makes part of the convention. So yeah, didn't see anything of any of the events on Saturday in the main hall, but then there was a barbecue on the Saturday evening, which I only found out about thanks to Ben, Mr. Ben, hello Ben, Wasp Shot, who, again, you know, talked to during the Saturday, and made sure he brought some Armada bots because, you know, you have the itch for Armada, especially Ben. Oh, good grief, yes. It's something we share in common. So the barbecue was kind of hyped up to be something really good, and it turns out that it was more like a buffet style barbecue that was put on by the Hilton staff. And while the burgers was nice, it wasn't what I was expecting. But again, me and Anton, it seems that for the past 2 days of the Friday and Saturday, I was eating with Anton a lot. So you know, it's because I was hanging around with him for the most part, I'd say, and then probably flicking back between him and Emily and Martin's friends. Who, hello to all of you. It was awesome to meet you all, but I'll get onto that. So after that slightly disappointing barbecue, me and Anton went into the YouTube panel, which was it was brilliant. It was just all of us off YouTube sitting in a room playing with bots and just talking, and then going up and recording videos, which, yeah, I really should have gone up. I regret it now, but oh well, next year. There's always next year, I guess. But a couple of hours before, we was looking around the dealer room, and I was looking for an Armada Sideways, which is a very interesting toy, shall we say the least. A double combining Headmaster Minicon thing. It's purple and very garish. And Anton brought one for me from Toy Jojo, which, Anton, thank you very much. It's an amazing figure. I don't have any of the figures out here today. I'll do a separate video, I'm sure, like actually showing off my haul. But thank you very much for just, you didn't have to. You did not have to buy me anything, to be honest. It was, I can't thank you enough, really. I'm speechless when it comes to people. When somebody buys you something or gives you something as a gift, it just shows the friendship and the sense of community that is there when you go to these Transformers conventions. So after the YouTube panel, I went up to get changed, ready for the evening, and came down to find a quite large queue of people waiting to get into the evening event, which was, yeah, we didn't have to wait long, and I did see Ian once again, kind of let him into the queue, but shush, don't tell anyone, you know. He was with his friend as well, which was very nice to meet. It was a pleasure to meet. And then we all went in, and I was sat on a table with Ian, his friend, Neil and Jonathan, who I saw again, and hijinks ensued, to be honest, especially as on the table behind us was Martin and Emily and all their friends. And yeah, when you're trying to do Jenga with beer mats on Masterpiece Starsaber, you know your evening's off to a good start, to be honest. It was hilarious. And it was so good because the script reading was amazing this year. They tried some very cool things with it. It was probably one of the best script readings I've seen for a couple of years now. The cosplay competition was amazing. There are some very talented people out there that create cosplays. And I think people who won who deserve it. And then there was this bizarre game of ask people Transformers questions, and whoever was on stage at last won a prize, and it just so happened to be Elliot, which I'm not saying it's fluke or nothing, but it was very close in the last couple of seconds. So the rest of the evening was just spent in the bar, sitting around with Matthew, Few, who I spent quite a lot of the weekend talking to, Emily, Martin, Ben came over at one point, and we was all just sitting there to the early hours of the morning to 3:30, 4 o'clock, just being stupid, getting high on air, as Matthew will know, and just being stupid and silly, and it was amazing. And then Sunday rolled round. I was absolutely dog dead tired from staying up late. I don't know why. I'm getting older, I guess. I can't hack these long nights, you youngsters. Good God. Again, Sunday, walking around the convention hall, finally picked up something, saying goodbye to people, which it wasn't nice on the Sunday saying goodbye to people. And buying Anton a very nice figure that he loves. He loves that Retgar. Just ask him, if you know him, ask Anton how much he loves that Retgar, and I can tell you he will. He absolutely hates it, but, you know, if he was at a certain Transformers convention last year, you will know that it's kind of become a thing now that I buy him rubbish bots that he hates. So I hope you enjoy that, Anton, because just watching your reaction was hilarious. And then we had the closing ceremony, which again I didn't see because I was buying my last big purchase of the day, which is a shame, but I heard it was good. And then I went out for dinner once more to, guess what, a burger place again. It seems all I did was 8 burgers over the weekend with Emily, Martin, and all of you, Charlie, Matthew, Carl, Simon. And it was just brilliant because it was the end of the convention, but here we were, a group of us just sitting, talking, chilling out, randomly just singing out David Bowie lyrics, because why not? And that kind of like carried on even into the bar afterwards, and to the point where, to the survivors photo, right in the early hours of Sunday morning, where it was only a handful of us left, to be honest, but it was worth it. I had some great conversations that evening with people, especially Bisto, about Masterforce, which was strange but just awesome and sums up the whole convention. And unfortunately, I didn't stay up till breakfast this year, like I did last year, because I'm so dog dead tired. So Monday rolls on, and I'm a bit better. Everyone's going. It's a sad time, as it usually is with these conventions. But I managed to still have some great conversations, especially with Andy. Hey Andy, how are you? It was nice just talking about, Japanese stuff, Gundam, Gal Gaiga, all that kind of good stuff. Old Japan, which became the phrase of the weekend, I think. Old Japan. But yeah, and then I left latish for me. But overall, TFNation was amazing for the first ever one. And to everyone I spoke to, because I've mentioned people in the video, but there are so many more that I haven't mentioned, and so many other things I haven't mentioned because of time-wise. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who came up and spoke to me, even if it was just for a couple of minutes, or who I spoke to. The weekend was amazing, and it won't be forgotten easily. And we all need to meet. We all need to keep in contact and talk to each other over the next year, because you need to keep this sense of friendship alive. And with that, I will end this video. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you shortly with a haul video. God damn it, car. And just see how their year's been, because sure, we talk on social media, but fuck this. This editing is going to be ridiculous. So most of... And a motorbike. And a motorbike. Are you kidding me? Why is there a motorbike down the lane? That doesn't make no sense. Oh well. Again, flicking between the... Seriously, what is this? It's just like the M25. It's goddamn ridiculous. Seriously, this road is doing my head in. It's a lane in the middle of the countryside when you have that view behind you, and there's like 5 or 6 cars coming along it every single second. It's absolutely appalling. It's driving me insane. You done? Good.
It's time!